Welcome back to the channel. So a viewer, asked how to program a CWF micro. And if you haven't heard of a CWF micro, these are my favorite 10440 or AAA size lithium ion battery lights on the market. So welcome back to the channel. Before we get into programming it, and that's what this video is mostly about, I want to say that before I got a CWF micro, because they're expensive, they're pricey, but before I got them, the Raylight Pineapple Mini was the 10440 light that everybody recommends on Reddit and Facebook and stuff like that. And these things are very inexpensive. They come from China, and they're well made, but they're definitely like production, quality. And they're good. They're good. They're not bad. But when I got, I eyeballed CWF Micro for a long time, and the price jump is like 5 to 10 times higher. And I was trying to figure out why. Well, the answer is that it's better. It's better. Is it worth that hike? Probably to most people not. But I guess what I want to say is if you're a hardcore enthusiast and you have very expensive lights, then when I got one of these, I just sold all these. I had like 12 of these, and this is the only one I have left, just to have it as a sample. Now, let's get to specifically why it's better. So every aspect is better, meaning that the button feels better. It's much more tactile and clicky and sure, where the button here is kind of mushy. The beam is better. It's better focused. It's a deeper reflector, significantly deeper than over here, so you get more throw. And that's an important thing because these lights don't put out a lot of lumens, so you need all the candela you can get. And then again, the fit and finish is better, and every attention to detail, every thought about how it's made. But again, I suppose that could be argumentative. But that's my belief. My belief is way better light. Also, little things like the clip here. It's a milled clip on this one, and you can see that it's tapped for 2 holes, so you can put a different type of clip. And you can see that on this one, I've got a steel flame clip. This was, I think, for a knife, but it fits on here as well. And but notice that at least on this version, because there's a new version that has tapped holes, but on this one it's a captive clip. It's just bent, so it's just not as nice of a clip. But as I said, there's a new version of the Mini that has holes here. Although I tried the new version, I didn't like it as much. That was just me. Okay, now enough of that. That's my pitch for why you'd even look at one of these. And as you can see, I have several of them. They're my favorite 10440 on the market. All right, now let's talk about programming. Let's go to the overhead and do it. All right, so here are 3 of my micros. And you can see these 2 are Mokutai. Actually, no, this one is Mokutai. Yeah, this is Mokutai as well. And there's Zerk in there, isn't there? Yeah, so Zerkutai. There's some Zerk in there. And this one is Mokumegane. So this is all coppers and stuff. These 2 have Charles's Zerkutai clips on them. You can see how gorgeous those are. And then this one, I just put an aftermarket steel flame clip on. Give it some pizzazz. And just because you might be interested, this is one of the version 1.5 or something of a smooth Raylight Mini. So you can see how it stacks up size-wise and all that. But the true story here, though, that I want to explain is in the reflector. So let's see if you can get an idea here. First off, this is a smooth reflector, and you can see, like as I turn it, how much deeper this one is. This one's very shallow. So this is a much better beam. I'm not going to get into beams and white wall hunt and stuff in this video because that's outside the purview. But I just want to, again, explain why these are placed this for me. Now let's get to programming. Okay, the driver in this light is called the Chimera, and it is the most advanced 12 millimeter driver I've ever seen. In fact, it's the only 12 millimeter driver I know of that has thermal management. The Raylight does not have thermal management. Now let's go to the website here. Okay, so we're at Charles Wiggins Flashlights at the top here. and you can see it says micro lights right here. Now, how this works is you're going to enter programming mode, and you're going to do that with a series of taps, which I'll demonstrate in a second. Once programming mode is achieved, the light will start flashing strangely to indicate it's accepting inputs. Now, the very first thing you do when you enter programming mode is you have to choose a sub menu. You have to choose whether you want to change the outputs, which is called mode groups, whether you want to affect the memory, order of the modes, temperature calibration, or reversing toggle, which basically has to do with the reversing modes where you half press for about a second. That's kind of advanced. I won't get into that in this video. But when you decide, okay, let's say our purpose for right now is to change this light into a 2-mode light, okay? So just 15% and 100%. That mode group is mode group 4, okay? So I make note of that. And then I write this down, or I think strongly about the fact that my procedure here is going to be to enter programming mode, then choose subgroup 1, because subgroup 1 says change the outputs right here. Then click after C4 flashes. All right, let's just do it and see if that makes sense to you. All right, the first thing I got to talk about is getting into programming mode. So here we go. When I click it on, I got an output here, right? So I have to latch it on, and this is a reverse clicky. So now I'm going to half press. You got to be really careful to only half press when you do this. If you full click, you're going to lose power, and then you have to start over. So I'm going to start half pressing like mad, and notice that at some point the output goes away. And if I look, it's now flashing in strange ways. Okay, so I've entered programming mode. Now let's talk about that for a second before we go further. So I didn't really count the taps. I just half pressed until I saw the output change. Now what you're noticing is a flash and a buzz that's what the term we use. Flash means, full flash to indicate something. And the buzz means I'm waiting for your input as a user. If you want to select this item, half press during the buzz, and the buzz is like a flicker, okay? So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna enter programming mode again with the 10 taps. I'm gonna see that flash, and when I see that flicker, I'm gonna half press to confirm I wanna be in the mode group select. Now it's gonna happen really fast, okay? So just watch carefully. Now once I half press, it's gonna start flashing immediately. It's gonna go flash, flash, flash. I'm gonna count to 4, and then I'm gonna half press again to select mode group 4 up here. All right, let's do it. Let's see if you can get it. Okay, turn it on. Okay, half presses. Try to get into programming mode. Okay, I'm in it. Flash, buzz, tap. 1, 2, 3, 4, tap. Now, it's on to confirm it's on. Now, I just want to see if I only got 2 modes. So half tap, low, high, low, high. There we go. I'm in mode group 4. Let's do it again. This time, let's do mode group 1, which has 6 outputs, including a moonlight. Okay, here we go. Enter programming mode. So click it on, and 10 plus taps. Okay, I'm in it. Tap, buzz, click. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now now I went past it, right? So there's 6, 1, tap. Okay, so I just waited till it went all the way through. It went to 6 and went back to 1. Now let's see if we got it. Okay, so it's going brighter, and there's your moonlight. So moonlight, call it mode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and back to moonlight. That is how you program your CWF. And I'm not going to show you every other little thing, but I'll point out that if you want to turn memory toggle, for example, you're going to enter programming mode, wait till you see 2 flashes and then the buzz. You're going to half press in the buzz to confirm that's the setting you want to change, and it'll automatically toggle, meaning as soon as you confirm that you're in sub mode 2, it just changes, flips the behavior. So if mode memory is on, it'll be off. If it's off, it'll be on. So I have mode memory off right now. You can tell because I'm on moonlight, and if I come up here to a higher mode and I click off and I wait, you'll see when I come back on, it goes back to moonlight. So I have mode memory off. If I want to memorize last mode I'm on, I turn it on, 10 taps. Okay, flash, buzz, wait for 2 flashes. 2 flashes, buzz, half press, and it confirms by going solid that we've done it. That means it's now toggled. So when I turn it on, let's set it to high, for example. Turn it off, wait a bit. Turn it back on, I'll be back on high. There we go. All right, so that's mode memory. So that's how these all work. Have fun playing with them and enjoy your new CWF Micro.